With the issues our world faces today, we need to think differently and to have a change of heart. We're going to address the thinking component first. Can we teach people to think more effectively? I think the answer is yes. And we're going to crack open that topic of critical thinking today. I sat down some time ago, actually just before the pandemic hit in December of 2019, with my mentor, George Lawyer, to discuss the topic of critical thinking and to hear and rehear some stories of how and when focused thinking saved the day. So in this and subsequent videos, he and I are going to share some really useful models with real examples. Let's get started. So, welcome everyone, welcome viewers. Today I am telling stories, or asking my good friend George Lawyer to tell stories. George and I worked together from 2007 till about 2012.
Yeah, it was quite a few years, I recall.
And George is one of my mentors. And recently, we're here in beautiful Lake George, New York.
At the beautiful Millbrook Farm.
The Millbrook Farm, which actually is 150-ish years old.
Well, the barn was built in 1839, the house in 1840.
Okay, yeah, so it's a lovely area. I may get a little bit of footage a little later on and put up some pics for you. But we're here at this place, and recently, a few weeks ago, we were here visiting, my wife and I, and just listening to George and Stephanie, his wife, tell stories, and it just happened one after another about successful interventions that you had done with various clients over many years.
Yep.
And I just thought, wow, some of these stories are so illustrative about how when we use process, when we use rational thinking, when we find ways to help people share good information with one another, they really do solve problems, make good decisions, and make good things happen, right?
And have good performance systems and whatever.
All the above.
Yeah.
So that's a long intro, but that sets us up, and I've invited George to tell me some stories.
The first story I'm going to tell deals with a very large manufacturing organization in the Midwest. They had 9,000 hourly people under one roof. That's how big it is. And we had arranged with them to do some train the trainers and do troubleshooting training. And we trained the trainers and started having people scheduled into workshops. In other words, where people would walk up, they had the bulletin board and there was the weekly schedule of the classes. And we couldn't get people to come. People would be sick, they just wouldn't come, and it was spoiling our whole plan, because we had a 3-year plan to teach about 6,000 of those 9,000 people troubleshooting skills.
Wow.
So this was setting us back. And then I remembered one of the other technologies that we do is performance system analysis.
Briefly, what is performance system analysis?
Performance system analysis looks at the system within which the performer, which is either a person or group of people, operate.
Okay.
It has some key elements. One is the performer. Another is what we call the opportunity to perform. And the opportunity to perform includes, but is not limited to, a clear signal that it's time to do the job.
You know what?
All the tools, resources, and job aids required.
Performance system. So I'm going to scratch up here while George talks, and let's just get a couple of these ideas down. So this is performance system analysis, right?
Yeah.
Performance systems. System or systems?
Whichever you prefer.
Okay.
Analysis.
Analysis. Okay. All right, there we go. So that's the topic we're discussing right now.
It is.
And you said the
first element is the performer.
Okay, performer.
And the performer is a person or group of people
Okay.
that have a specific task to accomplish.
Okay.
Now, in order for the performer to do whatever it is, which is what we call an accomplishment, that's the output of the performer's effort, is an accomplishment. They need to have tools, resources, job aids, and a clear signal that it's time to do the job. That's what we call the opportunity to perform.
Okay.
Opportunity.
Okay, I knew that. Okay.
To perform.
So the opportunity to perform, and you said that includes the
Signal to perform.
signal. Okay.
Lack of task interference. In other words, lack of those things that would get in the way of the job getting done.
No roadblocks.
No roadblocks.
Okay. Okay.
And all the tools, resources, and job aids they require to get the job done on time, right, first time, every time.
Tools, resources,
and job aids.
Okay. All right. Okay. So job aids. Okay.
Now, based on what the performer does,
Right.
there will be consequences.
Okay.
In other words, consequences are what happens to the performer based on the fact that they have done the accomplishment.
Okay.
Now,
Okay.
the consequences can either be positive or negative.
Okay.
Positive consequences support the accomplishment, negative consequences deter the accomplishment,
Okay. So we'll just put
plus or minus.
minus.
And there is also one other element in performance system, which is feedback.
Okay.
Feedback is information the performer receives relative to their behavior.
Feedback. Okay.
And that's, again, defined as information the performer receives relative to their performance.
Okay, so and by the way, I do know some of this because George and I work together, right? Okay,
That's true.
we're doing this to help you guys. So, but the performance system analysis is actually looking at all of this when people aren't performing as well as they might, or we have opportunities we think to actually engineer it on the front end to make it the best system. We look at all of these and create the ideal system for performance. Okay,
Yeah.
which is all of this. Okay,
Which is
so
all of that.
Yeah, so back to the story.
Back to the
So
story.
you were trying to get people to show up to
at
workshops, and they weren't showing up.
And they were not showing up.
Okay.
And started thinking about performance system analysis. And one of the real keys about the performer is performers need to feel that they have some control over their environment.
Yes.
And to give you an idea of how little control is enough, in this particular organization, we just completely stopped assigning people to workshops. Instead, quarterly, we put up a quarterly list of the workshop dates and told people, sign up for the workshop you want to go to. As soon as we did that, we had 100% of the workshops were full, and all of them had 3 backups eager to attend if one of the primary people
Nice.
couldn't make it.
Nice. Okay.
So,
Okay.
what does that tell you about the need to control your environment?
So crucial. If I feel this also goes along with some reading and some learning I've been doing, self-determination theory. And one of the things that says is that a fundamental human need for motivation to occur is autonomy. I get some level of choice. So nice tie in there, but it doesn't need to be a lot.
No, it doesn't. It's as simple as choose the one you want to go to, as opposed to you're going to this one.
Very cool. All
Okay.
right. Thanks for watching today's video. As simple as it is, when we look at an entire system, the environment in which people work, and do some analysis, ask some good questions, we can make some simple and subtle shifts that help people engage and bring their best to the game. So I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll look forward to another one coming out real soon.